Hello, this is our presentation on the Consumer Leasing Act.
What is Consumer Leasing Act? The Consumer Leasing Act was passed in 1976 to ensure a precise disclosure of leasing terms that is available for consumers before starting the contract. This applies to personal property. This is a contract between the lessor and the lessee. A contract for a period of 4 months or more. A lease has to meet all criteria to be considered. Consumers must be provided with all the information needed before they can give consent.
This act protects consumers in many ways. It requires your lease to provide you with many things, like lease cost, terms need to be disclosed, as well as having all disclosures in the lease when advertised. This allows the consumer to know all the details about the lease before signing. Without this protection, your lease could trick you into signing for things you do not approve of.
The Consumer Leasing Act is set in place by the lessor to regulate property leases. This act affects both the lessor and the lessee. The lessee is affected because it ensures less liability and controlled fees when your lease term ends. All payments are disclosed on the contract for the lessee to have understanding before signing the lease. This act also affects the lessor because they have a contract in place to avoid any possible issues with the lease.
It applies to consumer leases of personal property, family, or household purposes, and can be used to compare one lease to another to find the best fit for you or your family, compare the cost of leasing to the cost of buying on credit, or the opportunity cost of paying in cash to see which one would benefit you more, putting limits on balloon payments, sometimes due at the end of a lease, and regulating advertising.
Thank you for listening to our presentation, and we hope that everyone learned something.